advertisements are now running to support good causes. Thank you, please.
Thank you for the 28 long months of subscribing, old manfolk, and take me to the moon and back.
Time to get your dancing shoes on, folks. Disco's here. Let's dance.
Let's get ready to crumble.
Good morning, everybody. Happy hump day. Let's go. Good Vibes Television back on the air. Good morning, folks. Good morning, YouTubes. Mr. TC Freer, good to see you. Happy to be up on the big TV. Good morning, everybody here on Twitch Arena. Welcome aboard. A little bit tardy starting today. Apologies. But I start when I'm ready. Good morning, Silver. Welcome. G'day, Disco. Good vibes. 3 times a charm, indeed. You had me checking whether the bot was working. And then I realized you had 2 typos in a row. G'day, Grant. Welcome aboard. Delana's here. Good morning. Thank you for the well wishes. Let's go hump day. Old Man Falcon coming in with the tier 1, a 28 months and a 10-month streak. Falcon, thank you very much. And I'm trying to put the DLCs to good use here. Hopefully you'll see some of that today with my ugly ass ship. Pegasus is here. Good morning. Good vibes to you. Welcome aboard. Maui here with some diggy hole. Also big shout out to Mr. Finn McCorvus of the community. Wonderful fellow has gifted me a new game to try out called A Game About Digging a Hole. So we'll see how that goes. And of course Jurek with some Lely vibes early on, and Marangana with the diggy hole. Thank you very much. Early lurkers. Valkyrie's here. Hey Valkyrie, good morning. How are we doing today, Valk? Evil Treb's here. I'm trying out some new music tracks, so they might be a little bit dominant at the moment while I'm just getting a feel for them and the volume. Good vibes, everybody. Let's go. Good morning, Blutenham. Welcome in. All right, Commander's here. Welcome in, Evil Trev. Good vibes. All right, let's do this. Morning, Crumbs. Morning, Ducky. Let's go. A boop. Hello. We've got our Gaming Tuesday. Actually, what the heck is that on my t-shirt? I've just put this on. It's just come out of the wash. Made a mess of myself already, but anyway, is my Save the Children Gaming Tuesday t-shirt, one of my favorites. Hey Beeblebomb, how you doing, buddy? I've been catching up on some of your videos, sir. Some of your not so new ones. Been very much enjoying it. The bit in the video where you're, I think, expanding your base or whatever, and you're a survival starter and you accidentally cut the power off from the battery. I'm like, yep. I don't have much experience in this game yet, but things like, where does that connect to? Or the thing where I build, my usual one is, I think, okay, I'm going to cut this piece that's holding these other pieces on. So let's build around that so that there's a structure there, and then we can cut that middle piece away. I did that yesterday, and I cut the middle piece away, and everything still fell off the back of the ship. And I was like, I don't think that's how it was supposed to work, but obviously I don't understand the game well enough yet, so. Good morning, folks. Welcome in. After decades of debating, George Lucas has finally confirmed that Yoda does have a last night. It's Leahy, or a last name, you mean? Oh, a typo. Oh, the typo got me. Wholesome entertainment. Nicely done. Nicely done, Grant. Beautiful. All right, let's try, in fact, let's save some of our music for when we get into the game. All right, let's fire up, shall we? I want to show you, I used a bit of creative mode yesterday, because, hands up in chat if this has ever happened to you in Space Engineers. So, you know, the other day when we were building, we started to build the landing pad for Eagle 2, right? Yeah, absolutely. Check, double check, triple check. Yeah, 100%. So, you know, the other day when we started building the landing pad, the connection to Eagle 2, I had a great idea that why don't we put it on a piston so that we could raise it up and down, having never used pistons before. Like, that sounds like a bloody great idea. What could possibly go wrong? Well, on the Discord, those of you who've seen in the Space Engineers channel, what could possibly go wrong is, for whatever reason, I noticed while I was building the ship that while I was still in creative mode, survival mode, because I'm trying to do it as like a survival thing, but the amount of resources you need is crazy. I noticed that when I was on the ground, everything was fine. But when I was on the ship, standing on it, I just happened to notice that there was a tiny, tiny bit of movement. Like, it was just flickering. 0.1, 0.2 meters a second, and just constantly flickering, no matter where I stood on the ship. So I checked the landing pad again. That was fine. So I was like, that's weird. It's like the piston's moving or something, but it was like at the height that we set it to. So I was like, well, nothing's moving, so it must be just a bug or something. I don't know. We'll keep an eye on it. I don't know, within about half an hour or something, just long enough that I'd kind of forgotten, I added a thruster, and it was connected, still in survival mode, so it wasn't connected to any fuel or anything, or like it was connected to the fuel system, but there should have been no hydrogen in the tank, I don't think, at that point. I didn't check, and I kind of went to go and get some more resources, and then kaboom, just, and I was like, that's not good. That's many noises, none of which I would consider good. So when I turned around, the landing pad was kind of in electrical charges and flames, and almost all of the which was mainly just the cargo pods and the thrusters and the hydrogen tanks, just mostly didn't exist anymore. I think there was one thruster lying in flames somewhere in the middle of the base, or Eagle 1 landing pad area, and the rest of it was just gone. It just exploded into nothing. I still don't know exactly what went wrong, but do you know what I did after that? I logged out and I went and had a fresh cup of coffee. Hey, Destiny's parent, good morning and welcome aboard. So, yeah, I was not amused. I was not amused at that. Let's bring that music back on again. You know, I wasn't upset or angry, it's just pixels, but it was like, I was putting in, you know, a little bit of effort, and, yeah. So, I've made some adaptation. Anyway, so it blew up, so then I decided after a quick break, there's a sync issue? Okay, let me fix that first then. All right, how's that? Is that better? Has that fixed it? So that's what I get for updating all my software, you know. It's only happened since I did the big update. But there you go. New versions of software. Oh, now we've got this crackling sound issue. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Alright, how's the sound? This doesn't work. I have to reboot Windows again because it's Windows that's botched. Same? Okay. Alright, give me a few moments, gang. Alright. How is that? Are we okay now? We're good? Oh, thank goodness. Why does that happen, Windows? That's so weird. Alright. Let's load into the game. Try that again, shall we? Hopefully the desync won't happen. It's so bizarre. It just makes no sense to me. Where that crackling one, like the desync one, okay, I get it. I get that one. I can understand. It's frustrating, but I get why that happens. The crackling sound one is, I don't know. That's the only cure I've got for that is a reboot of the game system. So I think it's something, I mean, it could still be because it's OBS at that point. So it's something to do with either OBS audio and Windows, or it's NDI related as well, which seems a bit, I don't know, unfair to pin that on NDI as well. Hey Ruler of Stars, how you doing? Hey Gimpline. Yeah, I don't use the voice meter software. Hey, old Grumpy, how you doing? I mean, there's a lot of things vying for the attention of the audio processing, but it's just so dumb that the crackling thing happens. Like, and then I just have to restart. I don't think there's any software. I mean, there probably is a way to reset the sound, but I imagine it's a typical Windows thing of like it'll reset everything and just botch it all. So I don't know. I suppose I could try restarting my mic software. We have to troubleshoot that. Could try restarting the Go XLR software. See if that helps. Okay, ideas. Anyway, where did we get to? Have we got any desync issues? Where did we get to? So, yeah. So basically, Eagle 2 exploded. So at that point, I decided to, because I didn't want to spend like 12 hours at the computer. I was like, okay, let's go to creative and we can then build a little bit more freely. And then I got kind of carried away. So I've tidied up the base a little bit, but I didn't spend much time on the base. I just played around with some of these window shapes and some of the lighting. I found this one here, which I think is a mod, the Tetra light. You definitely want to have that one in your life. It's that lights this whole thing up and you have to turn it down. We've got our fishies. We've got a chair to sit next to the coffee machine. We've got a cooking space, but I haven't really done anything else with tables and chairs or whatever. But, you know, we've got some windows. So, and it's not a box. So that's the most important part is I changed it a bit here and put some catwalks in and that. So it looks spacey. I started building a tower on the side and then I got bored of that project. Okay, so we've got our big assembler. We've got our big refinery. Where is the assembler? Oh yeah, it's that thing there, right? Yeah, okay. So we're good there. We've got everything piped up. I'm beginning to wonder whether we don't have enough power. But I think we put this power script on this LCD. And to be honest, it confuses me more than it helps me. I'm not sure if that white line there, like generating 2.1 megawatts from 5 turbines, peak 2.6, used peak. Oh, okay. So used peak is 1.9. So that means we're within power parameters, I think. Yeah. Sounds like it. Okay. Days since 0 days without a clang incident. That's correct. Because just yesterday we had a clang. Anyway, let's go over here. I'll drop this music here. Okay. Yes. So I had to start again. So I started again. I redesigned this. So this is actually, we talked about this in the last stream. So I ran a conveyor pipe. Conveyor? We ran a conveyor pipe. It's a new thing apparently in the game. It's a special DLC. Over here and underneath and basically into this. So gone is the piston. We now have cargo container, conveyance below, and we have a reinforced pipey thing that I found in the... I don't know why that looks like it's at a funny angle. Oh, it's because the ship's at a funny angle, so it makes it look like this is at a funny angle. That's kind of hilarious visual trick on the eyes. Wow, that's real. That looks like this is doing a leaning tower of pizza off to the side, but actually it's the ship that's off. So I redesigned that without a piston, and I reconfirmed that because most of this was blown up. Most of this was blown up, and this one light was here smoking and electric, and then there was a thruster in the middle there blown up. So everything else was gone. So I redesigned the connection, and we went in the middle again like we were doing before. And this is Eagle 2. Now she's not gonna win anything in the looks department. So this isn't the finished article, by the way. She's missing her legs, hence today's title is Leg Day. But this is what I've come up with for Eagle 2 so far. She's got a bunch of adornments and attachments that are probably no use to her whatsoever, but I just was having too much fun finding little objects. So she's red and white, because Ivan likes red, as we know from the series. And the Eagles in Space 1999 were predominantly white. Now, I've actually gone with a variation. I've darkened up these trusses. But yeah, so we've got loads of storage. There are 8 storage containers, medium cargo, whatever, freight one, whatever they're called. And then the best thing is I managed to find an arrangement to put on the 4 boosters, more or less how it looks in the TV series. How well does she fly? Look, let's not get ahead of ourselves, okay? We've got batteries. So I've got these trusses for strength. I've got some upward, downward thrusters, left, right, back, etc. We've got... Let's land on here. So if I land here, important thing to check that I've learned over there when making a ship. When it's connected up, check that it's doing a speed of 0.00 meters a second. That's what I've learned. Even though it sometimes feels like there's some camera shake, like something's moving, I am reasonably confident it's not moving. So, oh look, there's a little white thing there. That's interesting. Okay, so she's got a couple of batteries here. We've got ore detector, because why not? You know, it just looks spacey. We've got lots of antennas and beacons, like more than we need, just for fun, for the look. I've got 2 batteries there. I've got 2 batteries, and this wasn't designed. This just luckily fit in these gaps here above this tubing. So I really like those sunken batteries that just fit in there. So, and remember, I'm learning the game, right? So don't, if I've missed something, we'll work it out as we do our pre-flight checks. So we've got lots of dubious connections there for the thrusters. We've got O2 tank down there. We've got a H2O2 generator here. We've got, as I said, 8 cargo containers. These are like medium, like 15,000 ones or something. No, 10,000. These are 10,000 each. So, but we've got 8 of them, so that's huge capacity. We have got up here the 2 more batteries. We've got 2 gyros. No, 4 gyros. 2 here and 2 here. Further forward, we've got some extra strutting across the top because I wanted it to kind of have a little look like it could drop the cargo pod. I know that would be a thing we could do eventually, but that's way beyond my skills. And then I had a really hard time trying to get the shape of the eagle. So she's kind of got a rounded, elongated nose, and I don't know the blocks very well in the game, but it was really difficult for me. I'm not saying it's difficult in general, but for me, I had a hard time coming up with a shape that gave it. I wanted to build a walk-in cockpit, so you'll see that in a minute. I had a hard time coming up with a shape that was like sort of an elongated circle thing, but obviously it's all straight edges and that. But I had a lot of fun learning with the windows and that, and this is what I've come up with for this version, because I figured, you know, I like the saying done is better than perfect, right? So I went with a done is better than perfect for the cockpit so far, and maybe I'll have a better idea. And trust me, it went through about 3 iterations and it got less ugly with time, but I think it's still ugly. You know, it doesn't have a coffee machine yet, Destiny. You're quite right. It needs that. So here you've got access. You've got this little walkway here, and I've used a lot of these things from one of the DLCs that Falcon got me. So I love these scaffolding pieces here. So these are all fully welded up. Not that they're very strong, but you know. Here we've got the connection. This is another H2O2 generator. So we've got 2 of those on this ship. And we've got 2 H2 tanks at the back. I don't know if I showed you the tanks and everything. So we've got 2 tanks here. Now they're full because I put them in on creative, but we know we can get the ice easily and fill it up, so it's not really cheating as such. So yeah, so we've got plenty of thrust all over the shop. Now I haven't done any calculations for thrust. Okay, I've just put loads of thrust. Now, is it enough thrust? We'll see. I think for when she's empty, yes. So I did test that I could disconnect her without it all going kaboom, because that would have been boring. But anyway, so, and then I've built this airlock. Now, the part of the problem here is that what I would have done in hindsight, or what I would do next time I would do this ship, like the Eagle 3 or whatever we build, if we build one, is I would bring the nose out even further, and that way we could have... Well, the thing is, with the small blocks, you don't have really shallower drops. You just have this one angle. So I think with the bigger ones... Hey, Tiger, thank you for the tier 1 and the 52 months. I've just put loads of thrust. Is it enough thrust for when she's empty? Yes. Why do you have to make everything weird to a phrasing? Morning, Tiger. So yeah, so what I would... So one of the things that we don't have with this iteration... So I've got the oxygen and everything piped through, and it connects here, and you'll see why in a moment. It goes to a survival kit. So here, look at this. Ta-da! Isn't this cool? So what I haven't done, this is the exterior airlock, which is also very Space 1999 kind of feel. Here is, look, I found these panels here. I haven't got anything scripted to them yet. There's an air vent, and there's one over there as well. Just why not? Here's the survival kit, so we can actually load up on oxygen, hydrogen, and energy from this kit. We should be able to. So that's working. And then I've got, look, I've got a plushie. Hello. Keep finding those in those drop pod things. Look at the visibility here. We've got pretty good panorama views. We've got some viewing, and I've put these 2 hollow screens here. I wanted to have them there, but I was having a hard time getting them to sit where I wanted to. So, and then we've got flight seats. So now I will say that there's some visibility, but you know, you'd have to rely on the... That's why I wanted the screens in front of them, because then they would use a virtual, like, view of the world rather than, you know, like more the space travel where you don't have any windows outside, or Battlestar Galactica, the new one. So she's not got the best visibility, but you would just be, you know, you'd have to be using the technology. Now you can see that she's off center because I did lift her off just to make sure she didn't clang into the ground. I have put the starboard and port lights on, so we have those flashing warning things. I like that, this whole naval in space thing. Here, look at the rockets, look cool. I like her best from the rear.